The story of the chimney on this locolines loco body kit. The material supplied with the kit to make the chimney is a piece of plastic tubing this size. It looked a little thin, so I was doing two things. Number one was to try and find a piece of tubing to make a chimney out of, which might be a little bit greater diameter than that. And I was looking through pens, etc. And the other was some material to turn to form the cap for the chimney, because I've now got the small lathe working. So I found various pens, but in the process of looking I did come across something and I thought, let's have a look at this, and in the end didn't turn up a cap. And what I found was something like this. That's a sealant, works underwater, and what you see is the end. So what we've got for the chimney is this section from here down to there, well, a bit more because it's stuck into there, and then this section here, which is the very top end, that's all discarded, cut off, inverted, and stuck onto this. So you've got a tapered part here, a parallel part coming up here, and then you've got the cap end here. And by cutting this section off, this very end section off, trimming that off there, and then inverting this and putting it on top of there, you end up with that shape. Clearly you've got the extension, the threaded part that goes down there, which is just stuck down. So there you can see it, the original for the chimney, and that's what I decided upon for the cap. I thought appropriate, turning something out of brass is not appropriate for a card locomotive. That would be appropriate for a more sophisticated model. Using washers would have been one option, and there's a washer lying around that I had considered adding to a larger diameter piece of tubing, and would have used had I not decided to try this tapered piece in there. And that then is what we've ended up with, the story of the chimney. Another little bit of the story is I haven't actually fixed the body on. That chassis there is the chassis that came out of that low-cost LGB system, and up in the cab there you can just see the electronics glued into the cab roof. I know that this is just a friction fit onto there. When I press that on, that'll be a friction fit. You pick it up by the chassis. If you yank it up by the body, it would come off, and the body removes obviously to change the batteries. And I don't see any need to really screw it on at the moment. Once it's pressed down, it's a reasonably tight fit the way it's been made. On the roof you can see the LED, which is pointing upwards, and I think in the other video of it running around the garden, that's the push button to start it. Although that is as fully exposed as I can get it, I'm not sure that it's completely omnidirectional, and that limits the range if I replaced it somewhere, say in the side. But that's a problem with anything that's infrared, is the range of the thing. Pulling seems to be fine. That's just a function of the locomotive which was used to supply the chassis. However, if you were looking for something that was remote controlled and you could make use of the chassis, I really would recommend that for the same price you buy the Playmobil wireless radio controlled diesel outline starter set, because you've got tremendous range, you've got radio remote control, and what would I say, engineering wise, it's just a better proposition than this one in terms of its functionality. However, it didn't have the steam outline chassis because it's a diesel outline. The chassis is much larger, it's much longer, and you're limited in terms of what you could put it under from that point of view. This is a little bit back heavy, but the driven wheels are these wheels here, and so to have the weight over those two wheels in the middle isn't a problem, because those are just freely spinning wheels. So having the weight distributed towards the back isn't a problem. So there we have it, the locolines as a functioning alternative to get you out and round the track, whatever condition the track is in, as long as it's passable.